Module 7, the flows of supply chain management. The flow of goods, products, and services has a definite pattern in supply chain, usually toward the end customer. A supply chain can also be a pipeline in which information and finances flow. The flow can be simple or complex. It can be multi-tiered or reversed. In this module, we will look at the three flows of supply chain management: product flow, information flow, finance flow. The product flow. The product flow in supply chain management involves the conveyance of goods, products, and services from the supplier to the customer. This product also includes all back-end processes as well as returns. Sometimes returns are also grouped as an activity under reverse supply chains. The product flow can be one of the following: basic supply chain, extended supply chain, ultimate supply chain. Basic supply and extended supply are quite simple and linear. They essentially include a supplier, a focal firm, and a customer. However, ultimate supply chains are more complex and more like networks rather than pipelines. In addition to the same groups that basic chains have, they also include third-party firms and all other entities from the initial supplier to the end consumer. The information flow. The information flow involves the conveyance of information throughout the supply chain. This process includes the flow of information on orders and the status of deliveries. It includes information such as forecasting and metrics. It may also include information used for improving the knowledge base in a firm or for learning purposes in other systems. The information flow is an important process in the supply chain because information, whether qualitative or quantitative, drives every decision made. The finances flow. The financial flow consists of any factors related to money flowing through a supply chain. This process flow includes credit terms, payment schedules, and consignment and title ownership arrangements. It includes invoicing and quotes. It may also include how returns and customer credits are issued. Data warehouses. Data warehouses contain a collection of data which organizations use to support management decisions. Data warehouses are important because they can provide businesses a coherent picture at a single point in time. They also provide a place to pinpoint information. Data warehouses may include processes to extract data from operating systems, as well as databases that managers can use. Databases may be stored on a server or desktop. The term data warehousing usually refers to the combination of many different databases across an enterprise. In a supply chain, data warehousing is more complicated because of the various relationship and flows that exist.
Kim is the CEO of a massive international big box retail chain, Kim's Place. This retailer sells almost everything a customer could want, as was the nature of big box retail stores. Kim had been notified that stores on the East Coast were having trouble keeping up with demand for a product that was only made on the West Coast. Orders for the product were made automatically when the product inventory was low. Kim decided to establish a constant product flow that would bring the item to the store once every 2 weeks. Rather than an automated order system, the store didn't have any more problems with keeping the item in stock after that.
Module 8, Inventory Management. Inventory management is the critical stage in supply chain management because it helps to establish inventory and sales patterns, increase working capital, and turn inventory in cash. Inventory management involves various metrics and forecasting. It also involves how firms move their inventory and maintain accurate records. Data warehousing plays a large part in successfully managing inventories in a supply chain. Levels of inventory. Inventory carrying costs are major expenditures in any business. Inventories vary according to the form and function and include raw materials, finished product, dead stock, perishables, and work-in-progress goods. Supply chain managers will need to coordinate between various departments, but especially production and customer service, to determine appropriate levels of inventory. Supply chain managers will also want to examine all relevant forecasts when setting final inventory levels. Just-in-time inventory. Just-in-time inventory, JIT, is a commonly used method used to manage inventory levels in production. In this scenario, items are produced right before they are needed for the next step in a process. Items are not produced ahead of time and kept in inventory for a long period of time. JIT production greatly reduces cost and in-process inventory. Keeping accurate records. To keep inventory at appropriate levels and ensure customer satisfaction, supply chains must maintain accurate records. In most cases, 95% accuracy or better is recommended. Accurate record keeping helps firms plan, control, and organize inventory so the right products are ordered to meet customer demand. Accurate record keeping also helps firms achieve economies of scale and reduce inventory costs. Supply chain should have a dedicated software and database system for maintaining accurate records. Inventory calculator. An inventory calculator measures the inventory turnover rate. Inventory calculations provide supply chain managers important data for setting inventory levels. Inventory calculators help determine the rate inventory items are sold and replaced in a specific period of time, such as a year. Inventory calculations can also help supply chain managers determine the quality of goods and set benchmarks.
Kate, along with several employees, manufactures custom-made novelty bags for retailers in her small home business. Her sales are seasonal, with the holiday seasons and special promotions, which are the bulk of their sales. Kate also makes bags specifically for customers and some with themes from cartoon characters or recent events. Inventory management is a key piece in successful operations, and unfortunately, it's something Kate doesn't have a good handle on. The holidays are coming, and they are anticipating sales to increase 10% from last year. They sold about 1,400 bags to 12 different retailers last year, as well as 300 to individual people. Their inventory is usually 1,500 pieces at an average cost of 25 cents per unit.
Module 9, Supply Chain Groups. Supply chains are complex relationships among groups that interact to move goods, products, and services from suppliers to customers. In most instances, supply chains operate like networks rather than linear chains. Additionally, the relationships are more like partnerships in which members share risks and rewards. The type of groups involved in supply chain management includes suppliers, producers, customers, and customers' customers. In this module, we'll look at the role of each group. The suppliers. The supplier in a supply chain is actually where the chain begins. The supplier provides raw materials and unfinished products that are converted into finished products and goods. The supplier can also be the beginning point of a stream of information. The supplier may also have suppliers or partners who provide raw materials. The producers. The producers are the members in a supply chain who design and manufacture the goods, services, and products. The producers work directly with suppliers and customers as well as other third-party firms such as financiers, market research, technical consultants, delivery services, and distributors. The producers also must maintain adequate inventory levels and efficiencies in production to meet customer demand. They must ensure they produce quality products at a reasonable cost. The producers have a great responsibility within the supply chain since customers may deal directly with customers. The customers. Customers are the parties in the supply chain who purchase the products, goods, or services. A supply chain can have many customers. For instance, a producer is a customer of the supplier. Intermediate partners are customers for each other. In the supply chain, the customer's demand drives production and inventory levels. Forecasting is based on the customer's sales. Customer and consumer are interchangeable terms. The consumer and supply chains choose the type and quality of purchases, as well as select the appropriate suppliers. The customer's customers. The customer's customers in a supply chain are sometimes referred to as final customers. They are the parties who purchase the final products, the consumers. For instance, the customer's customer for a producer may be a wholesaler or retailer. The customer of the retailer is the general consumer or ultimate customer. A big job of product developers and marketing is to influence the behavior of these customers.
Perry runs a leading telecommunications equipment firm. His company's product portfolio manufactures relatively expensive, highly engineered products that lack some features of their competitors. Perry is at a pivotal point in his business in terms of how it will move forward. In a recent podcast and press conference, Perry indicated the firm is at the brink of stormy weather. As the company tries to keep abreast through industry changes and respond to customer demand, it struggles with high supplier costs and excessive inventory levels. Moreover, many of its processes are currently spread across a large enterprise, which affects lead times.
Module 10, Tracking and Monitoring. Tracking and monitoring inventory, production, and sales is important for supply chains as with any enterprise. However, with supply chains, these activities can be more complex and require a great deal of coordination. In this module, we will look at ways to track and monitor supply chain activities. Some key agents for tracking and monitoring include dashboards, RFIDs, alert generation, stock keeping unit, SKU. Dashboard. Dashboards help supply chain managers monitor, analyze, and manage supply chain performance. Dashboards are important management tools and provide visual real-time information. Dashboards should include details on the inventory and alerts for when inventories reach certain levels. Supply chain managers can use a dashboard to gauge the status of the supply chain and make critical decisions. RFIDs. The Federal Trade Commission estimates U.S. businesses lose almost $300 million in goods and inventory that's been lost or undelivered. One way to track goods throughout a supply chain is to use radio frequency identification, RFID, technology. The technology uses handheld computers, barcodes, scanners, and RFID tags to track inventory. Shipments are barcoded and scanned as they proceed through the chain. If a shipment becomes missing, managers can refer to information that's been uploaded to a server to trace its location. Alert generation. Alert generation helps prevent surprises in supply chains and improve the overall efficiency of operations by providing automatic messages or alarms. This technology may be coupled with a dashboard or some other monitoring equipment. Alert generation not only refers to the actual alert, but methods for dealing with alerts. The method should identify levels response. Stock Keeping Unit, SKU. The Stock Keeping Unit, SKU, is yet another method to keep track of inventory. SKUs are numbers assigned to identify specific products. Optimally, SKUs are created from real products. However, a challenge in supply chain management is the proliferation of SKUs. After cross-checking, sometimes managers find multiple SKUs for the same product.
Aaron's Prosthetics Company leads the medical supply industry in producing high-quality orthopedic prosthetics. Aaron's firm has won many industry awards and is always looking for ways to improve their products and increase customer satisfaction. Aaron has recently assigned a task force to help improve its lean manufacturing techniques. The task force includes independent consultants, suppliers, product development engineers, production managers, an information technology expert, a world-renowned orthopedic surgeon, and a supply chain manager. Together, they weigh the pros and cons of the various inventory monitoring systems and decide that RFID chips are the most efficient way to monitor individual prosthetic shipments.
Module 11, Supply Chain Event Management. Supply chains are complex networks with special requirements for successful operation. At any point within the chain, events can occur to upset the flow further downstream. The primary role of a supply chain manager is to not only manage purchase, track and monitor assets, but to understand the different problems that can occur to impede flow and prevent these. In this module, we will examine inventory alerts, supplier alerts, bottlenecking, being proactive. Inventory alerts. Inventory alerts allow the supply manager to know when inventory levels are low. As inventory reaches a minimum level, the supply manager can then decide whether to purchase additional stock or keep levels low. Inventory alerts should provide information on devices in the network as well as provide reports. The inventory reports give managers a quick snapshot of the chain. Supplier alerts. Supplier alerts are similar to inventory alerts because they provide status information. However, supplier alerts are from the supplier and tell managers when it is time to order new inventory or when shipments may be late. Supplier alerts may come by email or some other electronic means. They are usually preset automatically to a list commonly ordered from the supplier. Bottlenecking. A bottleneck occurs when the performance or capacity of an entire system is affected by a single event. Bottlenecking can occur anywhere in the supply chain. For instance, a limited number of components or resources can delay or even stop production. This further affects deliveries to customers. Being proactive. Supply managers have great responsibility in keeping the free flow of products, information, and finances through a chain. Any number of events can occur to impede that flow. The best method for managing supply chains is for managers to be proactive. Managers should use resources such as monitoring reports and KPI, key performance indicator, metrics, to make informed predictions about what may happen in the chain and work to ensure that supply chain performance is optimized.
Blue Pool Corporation is the world's leading home appliance manufacturer. They had begun to lose business to competitors because of their inability to keep up with customer needs and newer technology. At one point, their sales were down 92%. Things were looking pretty bad. They had massive layoffs and were at the brink of bankruptcy. At the last minute, the board brought in a consultant, Craig, who made some turnaround suggestions. Craig begins implementing many changes, starting with an inventory alert system that will alert supply managers when the stock of a product is low. He also holds a seminar with the supply managers and encourages them to be proactive in their jobs rather than reactionary.
Although this workshop is coming to a close, we hope that your journey to improve and apply the skills that you learned is just the beginning. Please take a moment to review and update your action plan. This will be a key tool to guiding your progress in the days, weeks, months, and years to come. We wish you the best of luck.